Instagram. Shouldn't Shutterfly have done Instagram and captured another $1 billion worth of value?
You know, I've got asked that by a couple investors too. You know, you could have argued Apple should have done Instagram, or Facebook should have done Instagram, or Sony, or lots of people. You know, you spend a lot of time around the web. There are these little products or services or even games like Angry Birds that just take off, right? There's this social, and you can't predict it ahead of time. And what Instagram really is it's a bunch of filters that help take grainy smartphone photos and make them better if you're not a great photographer. And they made it easy, they made it fun, and then they allowed you to share that. So they incorporated the viral and the social aspect to it. So it was a smart and interesting product. The fact that they sold for $1 billion is interesting because Facebook needed to get more into mobile. They needed more of that DNA. And so they bought them when they were worth $100 billion, right, on paper. And so
when Facebook was worth $100 billion.
So effectively, it's worth somewhere between $600 or $700 million. It's still less than 1% of their value, right? And so it was a defensive acquisition that gave Facebook a lot of technology, which I think they needed in the mobile area. But there's not going to be the next Instagram that's going to, you know, doing filters that are garnered that kind of takeout. We have filters now in our creation path, so very similar to Instagram. So if you're making a photo book, you can do that. And you can always take an Instagram picture and send it to Shutterfly. We allow you to go grab those pictures and use them into our product.
So these are two actions you took in response to Instagram's success.
Exactly.
And that doesn't embarrass you or shame you? Or
No, not at all, because you know you can't sit here and know exactly what the consumer is going to want, right? And you can't, as a small company, place 20 bets. So we place 3 or 4 or 5 major bets a year, and then sometimes something out here happens, and we'll either adopt that capability, we'll partner with that capability, or we'll buy that capability. So we now have, even in our photo books, right, we have dozens and dozens of templates. There are a couple made just for Instagram photos because they're square, right? And so we're responding to what the customer is telling us they want in a way that we get to make money and profit from.
So your financial point is that even if you had done exactly what they had done, you wouldn't necessarily have captured that value, assuming that Facebook wouldn't have bought all of Shutterfly to get that one feature.
Exactly, and you know, Instagram had no revenue when Facebook bought it, right? And so those occasions are very rare, right? It's kind of like winning the mega jackpot. So if we just had filters, which we always did, we didn't have the same, you know, set of filters, it wasn't a money-making feature. So it's not clear that Facebook would have came along and said, hey, we want to buy all of Shutterfly for this, because there were 24 competitors of Instagram.